this does not surprise me. And I know the Jets are going to get a lot of heat for this. And, he's going to Kansas City. The Jets are paying him. He signed an incentive-laden deal with Kansas City. He also was thinking about possibly the Dolphins, going back home, also thinking about possibly the Bills. But I think Kansas City, if I had to choose and I played his position, Kansas City made the absolute most sense to me, and that's why I picked them, and I picked them first, because they needed a running back. He wants to make a statement, and he wants to play on a good team, and he wants to play in the Super Bowl, so he went right where I would have gone if I were him.
So one thing I do not want to hear from people when Le'Veon Bell starts going off in Kansas City and scoring touchdowns and looking like the player he was in Pittsburgh is that the Jets shouldn't have gotten rid of him, because they needed to get rid of him. What he's going to do, and I believe he's going to have success in Kansas City, what he's going to do in Kansas City he's not capable of doing with the Jets. It had fallen apart. Him and the head coach didn't like one another. The offense is just miserable. You can't have any success in that offense. There's no weapons around. It just wasn't going to happen here, and then he was acting like a jerk, just like Jamal Adams was acting like a jerk, and then that was the end of it. So this was not going to happen with the Jets. The Jets needed to move on from him, and that still doesn't mean that he's going to go somewhere else and fail and start barking at Andy Reid and liking all sorts of tweets and take it out. No way that's going to happen. He's going to be a model He's going to be a model citizen, and he's going to succeed. That's what's going to happen. So buckle up now, get used to it, and don't start complaining about it when it happens, because that's the most likely outcome, and he might even be holding up a Lomardi trophy when it's all said and done.
Yeah, the Jets had they tried to trade him. Nobody wanted the salary. Nobody wanted the contract. And, this goes back to the decision that Mike Maccagnan made to keep him, to sign him and give him the money that he gave him. So you want to blame somebody, blame Mike Maccagnan. You want to blame somebody else, then blame Le'Veon Bell. You want to blame another guy, you can blame Adam Gase, because it was a match that was not going to be made in heaven. It wasn't endorsed by the coach. I don't think it ever really was endorsed by the player either. I don't think he was happy here. And I understand, because it was really the only team that offered him the money that he got, and he ended up losing money in the long run anyway.
Yeah.
So, from a player's perspective, I think he picked the right team. He's absolutely with the right team, and he's not going to be tweeting passive-aggressive tweets about, not getting the ball or any of that other crap. You know why? Because they'll cut him too. He now knows that he is no longer the guy that he once was 3 or 4 years ago. So he's now trying to reestablish himself, and he's playing with the great Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, a regular season MVP, a Super Bowl MVP. He's got Andy Reid as a Hall of Fame freaking coach. He is going into a place where he's got to behave. He's got to behave. He's got no choice but to behave. So you are not going to hear any more of this other crap, and he should flourish there. If he stays healthy, he should flourish there.
Yeah, I really believe that he will. And the fact that he didn't go to Miami means to me that Le'Veon Bell is focused to be great. And he picked a team that is a team that you would expect to be right there with the contenders and maybe even repeat as Super Bowl champions, even though they had a rough week last week against Las Vegas. I thought that if Le'Veon Bell signed with the Miami Dolphins, that meant that he was just all about being down in Miami and enjoying his life, and he didn't even really care about anything. And yeah, of course, he would see the Jets a couple of times, but outside of that, I didn't think he was going to be focused. Seeing him go to Kansas City means he's going to be focused. And, oh, by the way, it's only a couple of weeks. I believe it's November 1st when Le'Veon Bell is going to face the New York Jets in a Chiefs uniform, assuming that he's healthy and ready to go and all of those things. So we can watch that whole drama unfold, and guys can give fake handshakes and hugs before the game if they choose to.